All right, son, what we going to get before we go to the football game today? I think we probably need what do you think, a bottle of mustard? Oh, probably need some golf balls too, right? So you can make sure you can, throw them out there on the football field. Oh, and just to make sure, just to be safe, let's take us a golf club too. Let's go. Well, how's it going out today, boys and girls in Sportland? This is JPC. I am the outlaw of college football, and this is the home of the Common Joe and Common Sally in the know, even more so than all those media talking heads. Now, there was a lot of activity, a lot of controversy this past weekend in college football, from Eddie Yoger getting fired and giving his walking papers to let him know that he will not be back next season, to Tennessee basically obliterating their own field and causing like a 20 to 30 minute delay in the proceedings that probably led to their quarterback getting injured, quite honestly. But before I get to all that, I'd like to ask you guys and gals to like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's right, the big four. Give me all four of those so we can keep this thing going and get more of you common Joes and Sallies in the know in here to put us in the know. Now, getting right to it, 4th and 27. Tennessee completes a pass to their tight end. It looks like he's got the first down, in my opinion. They give him a bad spot. They review it. They uphold the bad spot, and that's where the chaos begins. Because there was 54 seconds left in the game, but what the Tennessee fans didn't realize in their rush to want to throw a spastic fit in the middle of Knoxville was that they still had 3 timeouts left. Okay, so they could still stop them and get the ball back theoretically with about 30 seconds left, which ain't a lot of time, so they were probably still coming unhinged because they figured that their best opportunity had just been thrown out the window, which I can understand being a little aggravated and pissed off at a bad spot because that was a pretty bad spot. But you don't do what you did. It'd be like someone jaywalking and you shoot them and you taking out a gun and shooting them in the leg or something. That's how over the top this shit was. And it's an ongoing issue. It's not like it just this happens every once in a while. It happens in Knoxville a lot, or has. But not all Tennessee fans are bad. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that the entire Tennessee fan base is bad. But what makes it look really bad for a lot of people around the nation, people that don't know Tennessee football, they see something like that and they're like, gee, these people are trash. Because if you pan around and you look at the field on the cameras when they're looking at it, this ain't like 1 or 2 bad apples. We all have those in our fan base. We all have 10, 20 bad fans in the game probably that are going to throw some shit or do some stuff that would be considered trashy or not of the best mannerisms in the world. So, but you look around the field and it ain't just 1 or 2 bottles. It ain't just 10 or 20 bottles. It ain't 100 bottles. It's like thousands and upon thousands of stuff thrown on the field, from water bottles to mustard to a golf ball that hit Lane Kiffin. And the thing is, what you fans don't realize in all this is that you don't just put the opposing team at risk. You also put yourself at risk. You put other people in front of you at risk. You put your cheerleaders and your band at risk. This wasn't just you going after the opposing team and the referees. This was a total disregard for the safety of anybody over a freaking football game. And I love college football just like the rest of you. But you don't have to go out there and try to maim somebody. This ain't Liverpool or freaking Uruguay versus Paraguay in a soccer game somewhere in a third world country. This is a college football game in the United States, and you're going to throw a golf ball at somebody? What if that golf ball had just, slipped a little bit out of your hand and you pegged some child in the head with it? You could hurt somebody really bad with a golf ball if you hit them just right. It's like a baseball. Golf ball's a little smaller, but it's just as hard. Hit somebody in the temple with that, in the eye, maim them. Over a football game, over a bad spot in a football game. So I think if they're going to penalize these teams for charging the field and celebrating victory, then they should sure as hell punish the hell out of Tennessee for basically trying to cause a riot over a loss. And let's get back to the whole Hooker thing. Your quarterback. They had a 20 to 30 minute delay, which causes people to cramp up. It does. Because they were having to stay loose. He comes out there on the field, and he gets injured immediately. The quarterback got injured, I think, because he got cold and cramped, and then he went out there and ran and pulled his leg in such a way on that tackle. His leg got pulled in such a way that it made it much easier to injure your quarterback. So basically, not only did you make yourself look like an ass by throwing all that stuff on the field and probably hurt your own cheerleaders and band, but you probably got your quarterback injured, and there's no telling how long he'll be out because of this situation that could have easily been controlled by you just booing and cussing. You could have just left it at that, but you didn't. Like I said, I had a friend of mine that went to a Tennessee game, a buddy of mine named Ray. He went to a Tennessee game one time, and he told me that on his way out the turnstile there, going down to leave the stadium, he looks up and the guy spits on him. Spits right in his face. Why? Because your football team lost a game? You gonna spit on somebody? Really? You spit on somebody, that's reserved for the most vile things to me. Like if someone's like killed somebody or raped somebody, you spit in their face. You gonna spit on somebody because your team lost a football game? What does that say about you? It just basically looks cowardice. It makes you look like you have no moral fiber whatsoever and basically like a coward. And I think, in the end, if they're going to punish these teams $250,000 for rushing the field, I think Tennessee should probably be given about $1 million penalty for that because they could have put a lot of people in danger. And that's my opinion. That's all I got to say about that. You guys and gals drop in the comment section. Tell me what you think about this situation with Tennessee and what the punishment should be. And like, share, comment, and subscribe once again. And KMCA to all the other teams.